I don't buy the idea that India can't challenge and compete with China in manufacturing. I don't buy it. A extremely nasty form of politics is playing out in India. We will fight him and we will beat him. The idea of India that Gandhiji envisioned was an India where everybody felt they had a home, everybody felt comfortable, regardless of religion, regardless of community, regardless of state. I'm sorry to say it, but that is an idea that is now being challenged. It's not apparent outside how aggressively it's being challenged. But the fact is that Mr. Narendra Modi won the election. He controls lawmaking in India. We will fight him and we will beat him. Normally, what I've seen in India is people go to the judiciary for justice. Yeah. And for the first time in my life, I saw 4 Supreme Court judges actually go to the people for justice. So they actually went to the press and said, listen, we need the people to hear our voice because there's something fundamentally wrong. I don't know if you know the details about details about the comments they were making, but at the center of that issue is the case of Mr. Amit Shah, right? So there is a challenge to the institutional structure of our country. I don't buy the idea that India can't challenge and compete with China in manufacturing. I don't buy it. Our record in the UPA was better than the BJP's record, but our record wasn't exceptional. Their record is actually particularly bad. In fact, you have the highest levels of unemployment in India are today, in 8 years. How I see the problem, there is a disconnect between our skill system and finances and technology. Problem is, policy is not connecting that skill base to technology, to money. How much money did they put in that scheme?
The fiscal deficit would go high, that much I know.
But how much money have see in politics? If you say, listen, I'm going to give you this, in your budget you got to say, this is how much I'm going to put to give you that. How much have they put?
Anybody in the audience now?
Zero. There is no money. So, I mean, if those are the rules we're playing by, tell me which scheme you want.
Right.
Which one do you want? One complaint I have of the BJP foreign policy in general is that it's very tactical and it's episodic. It's not strategic. India has a role, I wouldn't say a responsibility, but I'd say certainly a role where we have to engage much more aggressively with the outside world. We tend to get focused inside. We're a pretty complex country, and every now and then we'll start to look inside and start ignoring what's going on outside. So I think that is something that we should be aggressively doing. In 2004, we were handed a Jammu and Kashmir which was on fire when we came into power. Hundreds of people dying, terrorism, violence, and Manmohan Singh ji sat down with a couple of us and we made a plan, and we worked on it for 9 years. Okay? And the plan was, how do you build bridges between people? That was the plan. 2012, we had basically destroyed the terrorist movement in Kashmir, finished. In 2014, I went to Jammu and Kashmir and I felt like crying because I saw what a bad political decision can do to years and years and years of work. The BJP made an alliance between them and the PDP, and it just blew the place up. And what it has done is it has opened the door for forces that are against India.
Why is it that during the years that your family ruled India, India's per capita income was growing less than the world average? And yet, in the years since your family relinquished the Prime Ministership of India, India's per capita income has grown substantially faster than the world average.
I'm proud to sit in a room and have a gentleman say this to me. Now you notice something else. Mr. Narendra Modi would never do that. You would never have the ability to say what you said to me in front of Mr. Narendra Modi. And I am absolutely blazingly proud of that.